Greetings and welcome to Wednesday morning's Integrity Back Academy presentation of Navigational, Intermediate, Advanced, and just about anything you could ever hope to need or want with your iNfinity app. Sharon is shaking her head. So we just wanted to make sure that you got the picture here on this main screen. That is a picture of us. We are going to be out of town for the next 2 weeks, and for a couple of those days we hope to look just like this frog here, just taking a break. We are going to be out teaching. We're going to be actually doing seminars and things out on the road, and we are actually involved with a couple of other products, and Beamer is one of those. If anybody has any interest in the Beamer, you can contact Sharon and myself. We are Beamer buddies, and it is a fantastic product, and we're going to be working with that as well as talking to people about the iNfinity, education, and different things. So we're going to be out on the road for a couple of weeks, and so there will be no class on Wednesday with us for the next 2 weeks. We will resume class again on October 12th. So in the meantime, we want all of you to chill out and look like this frog here. Take a break and just breathe. You know, my clients say to me all the time when I'm starting to work with them, I say to them, I want you to take 3 nice, deep, cleansing breaths, because I want them to begin the shift to the parasympathetic with as little as 3 true diaphragmic breaths. What happens is you begin that shift. Because why? Because oxygen is so paramount to the body. It just brings in this calming sensation. And actually, I didn't do this on purpose, but you see that frog there. People say to me all the time, how in the world do I do a diaphragmic breath? Well, I say to people when they're sitting in my recliner, I have them lay it all the way down, or if they happen to be on Sharon's massage table in the other room, completely laying down, I ask them to put their hands on their, right there on their abdomen, where just above the, just in that area there by your belly button and such, is right around there is your diaphragm. And so it's just above that, actually. And so I ask them to put their hands on it, and I say, now I want you to take a deep breath. So, of course, they take a deep breath, and the entire chest raises up. And I say, I want you to push your stomach against your hands, like the frog is there. He's got his stomach pumped up underneath his hands. And I want you to picture yourself breathing through your nose and into that area. So what happens is, the chest does not rise first. Actually, the abdominal area does. You begin to practice that. You breathe in through your nose. As you have pushed your stomach out against your hands, it just kind of helps your focus shift to that area. So as they breathe in through their nose into the diaphragm, then I have them open their mouth and breathe out. And I count them through that. I ask them to breathe in to the count of 3. And we start out I'd start out talking very calmly to them, and I say, okay, I'm going to have you breathe in through your nose, 2, 3, open your mouth, breathe out, 6, 7, 8. So they say, wow. After 3 breaths, they start to feel different. So while we're away, and even while you're sitting there in your chairs right now, I know some of you call in while you're driving. Don't do it if you're driving, but you know what? You can. Actually, when I am out on the highway driving, I don't lay down like that, but I do diaphragmic breaths because I want to be as alert and as prepared as I can be, but also as relaxed and focused as I can be. So that is something that if you don't know how to do breath, I want you to practice that. That is something that I would love to know that all of you are able to do. It's really, really important. Get your clients doing it. They'll be happier, and you'll be happier. Okay, so while we're gone, what are you going to do? Wellness Wednesdays, starring Karen Williams and a plethora, a multitude of guests that she has at 5 p.m. Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time. I'm trying to get the out there. 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, and she has different guests. That comes out in your Monday training information. I believe that comes out on that Monday training information. And it gives you an opportunity to talk to, or not to talk to, but to listen to several different people, how they're using their devices, and to pick up some other information about how, again, different practitioners are using it. And so there's always some great people on there that she does interviews with. So we strongly recommend that you do that. Even when we're back, that's a great class. So you'll want to do that. We're going to move right straight into this. Again, we're giving you a disclaimer. This is something that, oh, and I didn't do it again. I did not put it on your area where you could actually pick this up and use it for your disclaimer. I would recommend strongly that if you give any reports to any of your clients or any send any reports to any medical doctors or anything, that you use a very, very specific disclaimer as you see here. The iNfinity app works like an evoked potential biofeedback device. The information provided here should not be construed as a claim or representation that this program is intended for use in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, prevention of disease, or any other medical condition. An evoked potential biofeedback device records subtle reactive informational stress potentials provided by the client during the assessment procedure. The program evaluates such responses and then challenges the individual with that information by feeding it back to the client. This process merely assists the body's own natural defense mechanism by encouraging energetic balance and harmony. Please remember, only duly qualified and licensed healthcare practitioners may make assumptions relative to specific disorders or medical conditions. Quantum Life and Integrity Biofeedback, Inc. and Academy shall not be responsible for any such misrepresentations. Very, very important. Let's move on. Again, if you have questions regarding your products or you have questions regarding Quantum Life, Karen Williams is your CEO of Quantum Life, and there is her email address. If you have education questions or you have questions about how you would do something within your iNfinity, those questions come to us, and we're more than happy to answer those. Everything else would be funneled through Karen. I know there's a lot of hype about the new 2.0 that's going to be coming out. We still don't have an absolute date on that, and we're not exactly 100% clear on all of the different changes that may be appearing there. So I just want to say that going in, that there's some things coming up, and we're excited about them, and we're just kind of biding our time right now. So those questions go to Karen as well. IBA, here is our website, biofeedbackedu.com. We have an associates program on there. You just go to that tab under the biofeedbackedu.com page. There's our Gmail, integritybiofeedback@gmail.com, and even our phone number. So if you'd like to call us, not to just chat with us, because we're in and out and we have clients. So if you want to chat with someone, I'll give you my mom's number, because she would love to chat with just about anybody and everybody. And here's the thing. If you'd like to get a word in edgewise, you better start really, really fast as soon as she answers the phone.
And also,
yes,
because I know you, Mother, probably you'll need to do a good iNfinity stress reduction session after the call.
Yes.
She's actually calling in right as we speak, Brenda, just so that you know. Oh, sure.
Isn't that interesting? Okay, well, I could put her on the call here, and that would be an exciting moment for all of you. Okay, let's get started. Yep.
Before you go on with that, Dolores has a great suggestion here if this works. If they're listening on their iPad or watching on their iPad, can they take a screenshot of the disclaimer right now? Would that work if you back it up?
Yes.
So that's a good idea, since we did forget to put it on the, to download it or upload it or however you do that. So yeah, go ahead and click that if you're on there, if you know how to do that, and you'll have the information today.
That's right. If you are a person that is using Windows 10, you will hit your Windows icon on your keyboard and your print screen button that's going to be up in the top by the function buttons up there, and that will actually take a picture of the screen and it will save it in your pictures. If you're using your iPad, you're going to hit your home button and your power button at the same time, just real quickly. Click, and it will actually take the photograph of what you have on the screen there. Thank you, Dolores, for that. Dolores is our constant, what do I want to say, well of information. Thank you, Dolores, for that. Wealth of information, I should say. So definitely go ahead and do that. And of course, for those of you who are doing that, make sure you change the name Quantum Life and Integrity Biofeedback Inc. and Academy on the bottom so that it might reflect you and not us. Okay. Do we have any questions, Miss Hoyer?
Not yet, so start typing away, please.
Here's the thing. This is provided to you for your questions. This is not a class as such. In other words, this is not a presentation of a particular situation or a particular class or study on one item or another. What this is to answer the questions that you have for your device as you are moving through and working with it, and your comments about how you might be using it and things like that. Up in the key, no matter what product you're using, there's an area where you can begin typing in the questions. We encourage you to do that. We are going to talk just a little bit about a couple of things, and this usually opens it up so that everybody jumps in at that point in time. And so we're going to start it out today with just a little bit of information here. I want you to know, and this is being driven home to me in my studies and in my thoughts, everything is on a continuum, and this is what Webster says: a continuum, a range or series of things that are slightly different from each other and that exist between two different possibilities. Everything that you are looking at when you actually enter when you actually do your initial scan and the different things are being scanned for, whether it's the body systems or chakras or meridians or whatever it is, what's happening is you are sending actually in a healthy or a vibrant signal. So then the body is responding to you with a stress potential, telling you how much out of the balance that may be. So in other words, it's not telling you, like, let's talk about nutrition for a minute. So let's say that you have a vitamin C, okay, and that you have done the nutriopathy panel, and you see that vitamin C is 750. Well, we tend to think that 750, that this might be the top end over here, and this might be the bottom end over here. What 750 is telling us is that is how much stress is represented. When we put that signal in, it's telling us that the body is not resonating with that signal. Okay, so it's not right on that same frequency pattern. It is out of the range of that frequency panel or that frequency pattern that we've sent in, but it is somewhere on this continuum. So what we want to do is, again, we are offering a signal, as you just heard in the disclaimer there, we're offering a signal to the body. When we see that the body is not in resonance with that signal, we are returning again that signal to the body, allowing for the body to begin to resonate or to bring itself into alignment. As you know, when you're using your devices, you see the word alignment, you see the word harmony, and you see the word energy flow. So that's what you're looking for there. Let's bring up our device today and get that up on the screen here as soon as I can somewhere. Where did you go? I wonder if we're not on. Okay. There we go. Okay. Ta-da. Here we are. So you see up here alignment, harmony, and energy flow. So when these signals have been offered, again, they are going in as what we would consider a balanced a balanced frequency or a healthy frequency for all of these different areas. And so the stress potential that you see after the scan has been done is just telling you that the body is not in true alignment with that particular signal. For those of you who drive a car, and probably all of you do, when the front end is out of alignment, it begins with a very slight vibration that you may not even notice. Then it begins to vibrate a little bit in the steering column. I mean, in the steering wheel, you'll feel it just a little bit. It is still a slight vibration, so it's slightly out of tune. It's slightly out of alignment with the healthy alignment pattern for your vehicle. The same thing is in your body. What we're doing here is we're asking the body, how aligned are you with the healthy vibration? So when you see it out of balance, you cannot say, oh, this is extreme, or oh, this is deficient. It is just sharing with you that the body is not in alignment with that signal. We have talked about this many times. For those of you who are wanting to call my mother, her phone number is 239-597-4238. So that would be the pattern that I would have to align with in order to speak to her. If I called 239-597-4239, I am out of sync or out of alignment with that pattern, and I will not be having the same result when I dial that number. It is about the body being out of alignment. So that's what you're seeing on your screen here. Whenever we do any of these different profiles, it is always about being out of alignment or out of resonance with a healthy vibration. Okay, Sharon?
Here's an interesting question. This is from Dolores. So, getting complicated here, she says. We'll see. If the body is too far away from the frequency of, say, vitamin C, for instance, what's to keep it from going to some other frequency of a different thing that might be closer to where it actually is? That is a really thought-provoking question.
It is a thought-provoking question. Well, everything has a specific frequency pattern that is its signature. And everything stays within, okay, let's go back here where we just saw this. Everything, this is vitamin C, Dolores, okay? And these are the parameters for vitamin C. In balance, out of balance, aligned, okay? And so your signature for vitamin C is always going to fall somewhere within here, okay? So it's not going to bleed over, and vitamin C, the signal for vitamin C, if it becomes extremely out of balance, is not suddenly going to become vitamin F. It will always remain vitamin C, but the imbalance in, or the out of alignment or out of tune, or whatever you want to call it, situation will be represented by that stress that you will see on your iNfinity app. And so again, this is vitamin C, period. It can fall anywhere within here, and it will not change its molecular structure suddenly and become something else. I think that was what you were asking. I hope.
If not, just type in and we'll try again.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have to make something up. I'm not sure. Okay, here's a question from Kazoo. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. It's about the spiritual panel. Is interested in that. And just wanting to know what the imbalance of each item on the spiritual panel could mean. That's a good question.
It is a good question. It's one that we have chatted about a couple of times in other classes. I must say I was not a big fan, and still am not a huge fan of this particular panel on the iNfinity, and I really feel that some of these things should maybe be a little bit differently described and should probably have a description. Okay. But having said that, and Karen knows that, so I'm not telling any secrets. But what I have been told and was that the signals behind here are homeopathic signals. Now, I don't understand exactly what that is referring to. So now moving forward a little bit with what your question is asking here. One of the things that, I always say that people can see different screens here in your iNfinity without creating any great lawsuits. I mean, if you have a device like we use, the Life system, and many of you use the Skio and the QX and other devices that are loaded with pathology. So if you have a client and you want them to see the screen and they're seeing all kinds of pathology, that's a lawsuit waiting for you. On the iNfinity, one of the things that we so appreciate is that they don't have that kind of pathology, and we encourage you not to generate that kind of pathology in your customized panels unless you're a licensed practitioner. So in this particular situation, if I had this up on the screen and somebody was watching this and they saw that they had dark forces out of balance and they had maybe entities that were bothering them or a psychic attack, oh my gosh, and surround and protect. No one has ever told me what FTHG stands for. But if I was to be seeing these and I was sitting there, I'd be thinking, what in the world is this? To begin with, what it's telling us here, and this is the way I understand it, that came from Ryan Williams, is that the energy of chanting and invocations in a spiritual flavor or tone, that when the body responds to this and tells us that there is a stress pattern here, that the body is saying that this is out of balance and that whatever this is representing to you, it may be telling you that, again, there may be an imbalance. Maybe you're not taking time for your meditation. Maybe you are not paying attention to your spiritual time, something like that. Or maybe you are, and maybe you're an extreme of that. So it's just telling us that there is an imbalance there. Cutting the cord is pretty straightforward. Cutting the cord in a lot of areas, like oftentimes we'll see this with people going through situations either business-wise or love-wise or cutting the
Children,
cord with children, that's true, with parents.
grown children that are still living at home. I see that ironically come up a lot with people like that.
Interesting. Dark forces, I want to tell you that dark forces and entities are energy patterns. I had this conversation with someone the other day that was saying, what, are these demons? Or is this a possession that we're looking at here? Absolutely not. What I believe that you're looking at is energies that may not be the most cohesive for you, that are in the energy field around you. Also entities. These energy is an energy pattern. So are dark forces. I think that the terminologies should be changed here so that it isn't representing, I think it needs to be more clear. So I'm sorry that I'm answering it this way. I'm not really giving you a clear answer, but I believe these are more lower vibrational frequencies, maybe anger, maybe you have had an experience where there's been some kind of trauma and there has been some kind of abuse. That energy remains in the energy field of the body, and also those memories are locked down within the cells. So again, maybe releasing some of those things come into this, also cutting the cord there, even cutting the cord to the memories. Embracing the light, I think, is pretty straightforward. Tells us that in this situation that embracing the light is very nicely balanced, so that's a good thing. Protective jewelry, again, I don't have an answer for you on that. Releasing attachments to me would be the same as cutting the cord. Psychic attack, when you're under a lot of stress and you have a lot of things that you have going on around you, you can feel energetically like there is an attack upon the psyche that's taking place. And so sometimes we will see this pretty strongly. And in those cases, you know, I would certainly give energy for this. And I would also make sure that I am shifting that person into the sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system, because if they're having a psychic attack, I'll tell you what, they're in the sympathetic nervous system. They are in a situation where they have that high anxiety, and what's happening is that broadcast that's going out now from that state of being is drawing all kinds of things that vibrational frequencies and patterns and signatures that can generate the feeling of a psychic attack. Surround and protect. Again, I don't have a real good understanding of that. I know Karen is probably on the call this morning. She usually is. Karen, I would love it if we could get some information. And if you have any feedback that you want to give us for these things, I would be greatly appreciative for that.
Can I just say, a lot of people are buzzing in. The FTHG means for the highest good.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Surround and protect for the highest good. Thank you. FTHG. I guess those must be younger people that use their text that way.
And Karen is saying that she created some of these things and Ryan did. And may I just say, this morning, ironically, I had a client who is dealing with a lot of anxiety, has been doing several sessions with us, and asking for the spiritual protection profile. The two things that came up as very imbalanced was dark forces and psychic attack. I want to tell you, because she's someone with high anxiety, I did not share with her that she was even asking for this profile. I did a little bit of balancing with it, but went to the emotional profile, which is what she was really asking for even more than this one. Because I knew if I shared, oh yeah, you have dark forces, that's going to send her even to more anxiety than she already was. So I would just be cautious on even sharing the information on this with some people.
Yes, definitely. Depending on where they are at that moment. Not that you're supposed to be keeping anything from people, but yes, at that moment. Karen, since you mentioned that you did help Ryan with this, can you explain to me what the energies are behind these? Because I know I do get these questions, and if you have information about that, would you like to share that with us right now? I'm waiting for Karen to answer that question. And as she answers that, thank you again for weighing in on FTHG. So,
she's saying yes.
Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Karen, and have you just weigh in on these things and just give us a little bit of information, because I do get this question. I'd like to know. There we go. I'm going to unmute you, Karen.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, sorry, I was very attentive to what you were saying there. And I'm a minister with MSIA, which is the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness. And the website is msia.org. Okay. And it's basically the Christ is the top of the church. So it's all Christ teachings translated into modern day language. And so that's really where, you know, what I contributed towards the spiritual protection panel, really came from my teachings with MSIA, which has been about 7-8 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and okay, I know you've been a minister too, Brenda, yeah, right? For many years.
Yeah. Longer than some people have been alive.
Right.
Karen as well has been in ministry. I'm just wondering, again, I have been asked this, what are the energies, like when we see chanting and invocations there at 699, you know, what is it really telling us? Is that we're out of balance? Like I was saying, to me, that what I felt that it meant, but I'm just wondering, what is the energy behind those? Or
Ryan put that one in there, and I'm not quite sure what his intent was behind that.
Okay.
And yeah, we were a little bit disjointed with some of the things on some of the items on some of the panels.
Okay.
So I can't really speak for him and where he got that information from, but
Yep.
I provided him with some information to give to the developers, and
Mm-hmm.
then he provided them with some information to give to the developers. So it was not as synergistic as I had hoped, but
Uh-huh.
job got done, and so there's certain things that he would have to answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
So would this be hololinguistically that these were being offered then? In other words, if we're lacking auric protection, um, again, that was put in hololinguistically, and so now we're responding to auric protection saying yay, nay, we're in alignment with that or out. Would that be a
Yeah,
fair?
correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Very good. And protective jewelry, um,
I have
if
no
you're
idea. Again, that was Ryan.
I have an idea. If you're a male, you better darn well have that wedding ring on, right? If you're married. And I have, for many years, I was divorced quite young, and so for many years I wore my wedding ring as protective jewelry. But I don't think that's probably the same signal that we're looking at there. So,
Right.
okay.
It probably didn't act in quite the way you expected it to, right? I did
Actually,
the same thing, and it didn't work for me either.
okay. Well, excellent. Thank you for that, madam. And
Yep.
I
Thank you,
just
guys.
wonder if if I can't remember, we had put in some changes regarding actually the spiritual protection program for the new 2.0 and suggesting maybe a little more kind of along the lines of what you were saying in the ministry that you were in, a little more spiritually understanding. I mean, like we all get grounding, we all get embracing the light, we all get cutting the cord and even releasing attachments. And of course, as Sharon said, psychic attack is pretty straightforward as well. So I just wondered, I don't remember if we're going to see changes in here or not, but
Yeah, yeah, we are. It's going to be more eclectic.
okay.
Maybe I love Christ, so I mean a lot of the Christ teachings. I wanted to kind of put as much of that energy into the app as I possibly could. But I don't think that's fair on those that don't share
Correct.
that view. So yeah, so it's not going to be, and I know that can be construed as religion. MSIA is not religious; it's spiritual. It's all-encompassing. I mean, it encompasses all religions.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be, and maybe we can work more together on that for
Mm-hmm.
the second
Yes.
generation. Because
Okay.
I know you had some beautiful ideas for that too.
Well, yeah, I do just think some of these things do leave us going, uh-oh, what might that be? And yes,
Right.
to be very to make it more of certainly not a denomination or even
Hmm.
nothing like that, but to again like embracing the light, beautiful, cutting the cord, great. So I've got those big scissors out right now, and so cut those cords. Um, but anyhow, okay. Well, thank you very much for that. And if you have anything else you would like to share with us, you may do that right now.
Just about the conference, but Sharon just confirmed that you're going to be mentioning that, so I don't want to spend too much of the time
Okay.
that you're going to be using this morning to share about the Infinity. But I just wanted to mention we have a lot of exciting things in store. I don't know if you read the email I sent to you about
Yes.
how
Yes.
some changes we're going to make, to enhance the environment and using young living oils and diffusers in the
Hmm.
conference room. So something we haven't done before. So there's, yeah, just a lot to look forward to. And of course, great speakers and great
Yep.
energy. So
Yep.
thank you both.
Okay. Well, yes, Sharon does have something coming up, and actually, I'm going to turn it over to her right now and let her
And
handle that.
and
Do
there's
we have a question?
more on this
Oh,
though that I
okay.
want to take care of before we divert because
Okay.
we're right.
Thank you, Karen, for weighing in, and we're just going to mute you. And thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Goodbye.
Um, Annette says she was thinking dark forces may be the thoughts that are negative, and that certainly could be true. I think that as well. And when you listen to your client, you can tell if that would be right on with their issues, certainly. Dolores has a great, she's going to get 100,000 bonus points today. She uses, Dolores, I hope we see you. I don't hear you. Oh,
I hope. Dolores, I hope we see you at the conference so Sharon can give you 100,000 points.
She uses the spiritual protection in a little bit different way. So let me read you what she's written here. She says, I usually use a different approach with a spiritual protection panel. For example, with psychic attack, I will cross-check things like parasites, viruses, bacteria. With this, since I feel that these things also have a consciousness, but it is all internal to the person, not outside of them. She continues, I kept getting a chronically low number for psychic attack, and just sending that frequency did not seem to move it until I had the idea to cross-check that with parasites. After that, it improved. That is so interesting.
It's very interesting. And what she's saying, for those of you who are new, is she's just popping that up there in the cross analysis, and then she was cross-checking against parasites and against bacteria. I love that. For me, I would do, which I have not done that. So, I mean, I have to give you great kudos for that. I think that's a fantastic idea to do the cross analysis with a psychic attack. I would probably be using, looking at homeopathics. I would be looking at the emotional. I would be looking also at the young living oils that we have in there as well. But yes, absolutely, everything has a consciousness. Everything, doesn't matter what it is. So yes, it could be having an impact on you psychically as that as well, definitely. And Annette, also out to you, another 100,000 bonus points there. Definitely, dark forces can be the thoughts that you know, negative thought patterns that are there. Because again, a negative thought pattern is nothing more than an energy. Okay, and so if you are generating an energy from a negative point of thought or belief system or something like that, you do have darker forces that are around you, and maybe not thinking of the word forces, but darker energies that might be actually feeding into psychic attack. And we can see here, this is dark forces at 642. So it's not, it's just right at the top end there, but psychic attack is pretty high. So that's an interesting way of looking at that as well. But yes, I do believe that it is the thoughts that we are holding. And also, that was great to think of using your cross analysis even in the spiritual protection panel. Thank you.
Yes, and Pam's going to get another 100,000 points as well. We're really giving out the points today. She says she also uses it in the same way. She has found the cross analysis with virus, parasites, fungus, bacteria, with dark forces, entities, psychic attack. They all seem to resonate with each other. And she also looks, of course, at the solution. She's found what resonates is the young living oils, the Bach.
Yes.
Frequencies on there, and emotions.
Yes.
Excellent. Good. Thank you.
That is so true, Pam and Dolores and everybody on the call. Thank you, Pam. Good to have you on the call. That is excellent way of looking at the fact that you're looking at all those different viruses, parasites, bacteria. Remember, everything has its own signature, and that signature is going to be, for those types of things, is going to be of a lower vibrational frequency. In other words, so it's not going to be a real positive frequency for the body. So, of course, when you put in dark forces, that has its own resonant vibration, and so there will be viruses, bacteria, parasites, bugs that will hang out in that same field. Okay, I hope that's clear to everybody that's on the call that's just starting out, or just thinking about what we're saying and thinking, what in the world are they saying? Let's just go ahead and type in psychic attack. Okay, and this is what Dolores was doing, and also Pam. They started to put in things like parasites, okay, just to see where, or if there was any parasites that were resonating with this psychic attack. And so what we're going to see here is what resonates in that same energy field as psychic attack. Now, also I think Dolores was saying that she didn't get a real great balancing on some of those things until she started to do it this way. So what we see here is in the cross analysis, these are values up in this area. There are values from 0 to 20,000, okay? So I suggest to you that things that are between 8 and 12,000 are well within the balanced range. Things that are really high or really low have a different, have a very different resonance with the item that you're actually cross-analyzing. So this being at 8785, there isn't a huge involvement here for parasites. However, there could be some other areas that we might want to take a look at. Let's take a scan here at emotional or emotions. Let's pop that in and see what resonates with this psychic attack. And now this would go along with what Annette is saying, because Annette is talking about thoughts and things like that. So thoughts are going to be also involved in your emotions. If you're having some negative thoughts about somebody or you're having some issues, you might have some emotions that are going to resonate with this value that we have in the background for psychic attack. Again, we see the emotion here is empathy. It's at 1329, 13,000. So there is a little more in balance with this particular one. So you might want to take empathy and you might want to drag it right up there and do a balancing with it. And so maybe we'll go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll do a retest and take a look and see if it has changed the psychic attack. So it will give us also the opportunity, for those of you who are interested in how we do a retest, it will give you the opportunity to take a look at that. For those of you who haven't seen the 3D, this is the 3D. Many people still have not become involved with the 3D. The 3D is a really nice addition for your device. And as you saw there, there are some great affirmations that kind of slide across the screen, and that also has an impact. As you can see there, I am love is popping across the screen there. That is sending a signal to you. You're seeing it, you're picking up that color, you are actually hearing the vibration when we have the sound up, and so you have some information that's coming to the body on multiple levels when you're doing that. Okay, we got a 37, so we can see, oh, that was pretty low. But even at 37% up here, let's go ahead and recheck psychic attack and let's see what's taken place. So we're going to tap the recheck. We're going to come right here, tap that, and put our cursor in there, and we're going to just type in psychic attack. And we're going to put a check mark right there in psychic attack. You can see this right here. And now we have it here. We have it here. Let's go ahead and hit scan and see if this has changed it. You will see that it comes up if you do not have an imprinter, and for those of you who don't know what the imprinter is, even, you don't have one. So you're going to be using hololinguistics, which means you're going to be using the energy of the word. The second window that appears says that it appears basically that your imprinter is not connected, and indeed that is true. So I'm just going to say okay. So now the energy is in process. It was at 7:31. Interesting. Let's see what happens here and see what shift has taken place. Actually, it has taken that from 7:31, where we began, down to 6:10. Very interesting. Just a little bit of a shift here has shifted this psychic attack value down to the high end of normal. So, excellent. Kudos, Pam and Dolores, for the way you guys are using this. I have not used that in this particular panel, but that is a great idea. Thank you. And you could use that too on the dark forces there. You could come up and you could again tap dark forces. Let's go ahead and clear this. And maybe in the dark forces, you might want to look at emotions, or maybe you want to look at putting in something like Young Living. These are the Young Living oils that are loaded in here, and checking it and see what might have a really neat impact on this particular situation here. So we'll just let it run through here and we'll see. Well, Pettigran, I'm not sure without looking at my book. Maybe Pam or somebody knows what that one is specifically used for. We are Young Living lovers as well. We use that oil as well. I see these top three here, basically sacred frankincense and such. I might take and put, let's get this one out of there.
It's interesting that common sense is one of the high ones there, which makes perfect sense with psychic attack.
Yes,
because it usually doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to click out of that, and that's going to allow me to get rid of this one up here. So let's say that we ran this one again for just 1 minute. Now what we're doing is we are running those signatures or those signals, and they're being sent to the energy field of this particular client, and we're going to see what kind of an impact it has after 1 minute. Again, you can see all of the different things that are here on the screen, the 3D items, and they're pretty impressive, I think. And I think that my clients like them. My clients love to see the affirmations slide across the screen there. And they will say to me, is that specific to me? And I say, indeed it is. I believe that our energy is drawing everything, and we are the creators of our experience at every level. And some days that feels really, really great and empowering, and other days it feels like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I created this? Yes, indeedy. And the good news is, if you created it, you can recreate it. When you disempower yourself and give your power away to someone else, you cannot, if you believe that your power can be given away, you cannot change that. But if you're the one, if you're the creator, if you're the one that chose to give your power away, you can also be the one to choose to retake that power. So you can see down here we have 49%. Let's just once again recheck. Let's quickly do this, and we'll just click Psychic Attack as well as Dark Forces, and we'll just actually run a scan of the linguistics, okay, and we'll see what it has done for Dark Forces and even for the Psychic Attack there. Interesting. Psychic Attack has gone down much more to 455. It's in a very, very nice level right now. Dark Forces was at 642. It's now at 638. So again, it is balanced. Again, at 642, it was not too much out of balance. So it has shifted it somewhat. But you can see now how we do use the clear function and how we do use the changing and rechecking here when we do this. And then you'll come right back up here and you can tap clear and you will return to where you were. So we went from 731 down to 455. That was pretty great. So I do think that is a great way of doing it. Thank you, ladies, for that.
And Kozu says, I also have chronic number and psychic attack. He's working a system too. I've been wondering what I can do with it. I rechecked bacteria just now on cross-analysis, and it was 13,519. So he says, thank you for the great ideas. I just want to comment too that you can do this on any of the screens, correct?
Absolutely.
What you're teaching, just not on this one, but you can do that on anything.
Absolutely. On the emotional panel, when you have a lot of stressors on the emotional panel, you can always go in. You can look for Young Living oils to help with that. You can look for the Bach flower remedies. You can look for homeopathics. And you can even look, anger, believe it or not, when people are loaded down with parasites, oftentimes anger is an issue for them. So maybe in here you might want to come in and check parasites and see if there's any activity in here that might be impacting even the emotional, because of course we know that you are holistic. You're holistic, okay? So everything is working hand in hand in hand in hand. So again, this is about alignment, resonance with a signal. So it's not going to be a real easy thing to say, okay, so what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because it's about resonating with a signal. So parasites would have a low vibrational frequency, as well as would anger out of balance would have a low vibrational frequency. So here we don't see anything really major that is resonating with the anger, but we could type in something else and check out again Young Living and see what comes up for that. You could type in viruses, you could type in bacterias, as was mentioned earlier. And so for those of you just learning about the cross analysis, I know that everybody who's been in any panel ever, when you pop on the name, the cross analysis comes up. So if you didn't know how to use this, you are getting an opportunity to do this. Also, in the course that we just finished, we also give you the list of items that are in the cross analysis, and we talk about the cross analysis there as well. This, again, no major bacteria having an impact in here, no parasites, no major bacteria, so probably something like Young Living or homeopathics would be very, very good for here. But yes, indeed, you can do this with any panel that you are in. Okay. Okay, Sharon, I'm going to turn it over to you for a few minutes.
Okay. I show my screen. Oh, there it is. Everything's disappeared. Can you do that again?
You just, there you are down there at the bottom.
Oh, there we go. I'm so technologically deficient. Maybe I should have that balanced. Just as a reminder that Brenda was just alluding to, the fact that the proficiency training is done and many people are taking advantage of this wonderful course. It's 5 hours of video recordings and also a 62-page full color manual that you get with this. It is got filled with lots of things from start to finish, what you do with yourself, your family, your friends, or a client, step 1, step 2, step 3, starting from getting into the system, looking at the different items that come up, imbalances in the Da Vinci screen, how to know where to go from there, and then Brenda goes screen by screen, going over every single screen and giving some good instruction for each and every one, how to end your session, how to know when to end your session. There's also some things in this about rechecking the items that Brenda just went over here. Let me get to the next one, how to do the biocompatibility test, the cross-analysis, the customized panels, what does the Nozier panel mean, when do you do that, backing up to Dropbox, some things about the legalities of biofeedback, what you can say, what you can't say, how to get customized panels from other people that have made customized panels, and so forth. So it is packed with lots of information. Again, 5 hours. The appendix does include the cross-analysis list. There are hundreds and hundreds of things in that list. It's for your reference. A great thing that people are appreciating about the course is that because it's on recording, it's a video recording, you can rewind it, you can pause it, you can fast forward it, whatever you need to do, and it's up there. You can refer back to it, and you can print out the manual and have that as well. So hopefully that's going to be a great help to many of you that are just beginning. I must say that after I listened to the recording myself when I was doing the manual to correlate with everything, that I even learned some things that I didn't know about the iNfinity, and so that was interesting, and I've been doing this for quite a long time. This is now approved by the Natural Therapy Certification Board. Everything that we do gets approval by them because that's who we are, and that's we work under them. It's an international board. It's very important, whoever you're getting your education from. We keep harping on this, but it's true that it needs to be certified by an international board, especially if you're working with clients. And you can be assured that we go through many hours to get everything approved to their standards and for their CEU and so forth. This course is only $199 for all of that. Includes the manual, the recordings, and so forth. So many people have been surprised at that price because it's like, really, is that all? And so, yes, it is. The price may be going up in the future, but for right now, it's $199. We're listening to people that we should be charging more. Isn't that interesting? So, oh, yes, if you purchase it now, some of you are asking, what happens when the 2.0 comes out? Screens will be changing a little bit. We are not sure how much to this extent because we're not involved in all of that. Karen is handling all of that. But whatever it is, we will update the manual and the recordings to match what the update is, and you will get that as a free update for your education as well. The price will probably be a bit more with the update if you wait till then. So get it now, use it with your iNfinity now, and when you get the update will be free, 2.0, and the new manual will be free as well. Okay, so that's a good deal, I think. This is part of the Stress Management Certification Program. If you're just starting out and you don't know about that, it is under the NTCB again. There's two parts to it, for technician and then for specialist, stress management specialist certification that you can get through us. It's a in-depth, wonderful program. If you're interested, please, you can find the information on biofeedbackedu.com, or you can email me and I'll be happy to talk to you about that as well. To order this course or our certification programs or any of our courses, you can go on the biofeedbackedu.com. You'll find lots of tabs there that's very in-depth explanations about all these things and other courses that we teach as well. You can call us. Our number is 239-221-8977, or you can email us at integritybiofeedback@gmail.com. Also, let me give you another sneak preview of the conference just for the next minute. If you've seen this already, just take a deep breath and send good energy this way. Here we go, November 4th through 6th. It is coming up fast. Karen is putting this all together. She is planning this conference and planning the speakers that are coming and so forth. And so here she has planned for Nina Silver to be there, the author of the Rife Handbook of Frequency Therapy. A phenomenal person. We were privileged to spend a couple hours with her last week by phone talking to her, and she is quite an intelligent lady, to say the least. Has been in this field for many, many years, so she'll be speaking. She's doing 2 sessions, Foundations of Health and the Physics of Frequency, and also Healers Do It with Frequency, Rife Therapy, the New Paradigm. She'll be there. Dr. Frank Charles will be also speaking. He's a metaphysical physician. Lots of accolades behind his name as well. He will be doing a session called Improving Physiology with Quantum Life. Jamie Holman will be there as well. He will be speaking on From Quackery to Science, the Evolution and Science of Bioenergetic and Bioelectric Technologies. If you've been on any of the calls with Karen that he's been part of, you'll know he's a pretty intelligent gentleman as well. Gail Mack will be speaking again this year. She will be talking about activating higher consciousness with your quantum infinity and also incorporating Young Living essential oils into your quantum infinity practice. Casey Conrad will be there, but I don't think she's going to be speaking. She was going to do a session on the Beamer actually, but is not going to be doing that after all for reasons beyond her control and Karen's. I forgot to take her picture off, but I think she's planning to be there. She's a phenomenal young lady as well. Has been involved in the holistic field for I think 25 to 30 years actually. So she'll be phenomenal just to meet and so forth. Reverend Mary Hardy will be there as well, and she will be doing some speaking. And of course, Brenda and I will be there as well doing a couple sessions, one called Dumbing Down the Innate Wisdom of the Body. Not taught that one before, but we're excited to put that one together, and the basics and beyond. We're actually going to do a demonstration from start to finish. I'm going to be the client, Brenda's going to be the practitioner, and she's going to show you start to finish how to bring in a client, how to talk to them, explain what you're doing, how to do the iNfinity, and so forth. So it'll kind of put all the basic and training together, and we'll also be talking about certification a little bit in that one as well. This is at the Embassy Suites in Orlando. All the information about this, go to quantumlifeeducation.com. There's a tab called Conference tab. Just tap on that and you'll see everything you ever want to know about the conference. The schedule is up there, I think, and I think Karen's put that up there. And also talks about the early bird ends September 30th, what the prices are and what they will become after September 30th. So go on that, and if you have any questions about the conference, this is Karen's baby, so email Karen and she will be happy to answer any questions about the conference. I think that's all I have for now.
Okay, thank you, Sharon, once again for your commercials. Thank you so much. Just as we're getting ready to leave here, one of the things that came in from Pam, and thank you, Pam, was about the cross-analysis in the sense that don't forget that you could, like, let's look at the lung here. We can put in just very specific things. You don't have to just put in like young living and then get all of them. You don't have to put in all the bacteria and test against all of the bacteria. You could put in something like strep, okay? And so you'll see strep and staph. You could do strep virus. You could do streptococcus. You could test the resonance between two different items. So in other words, you don't have to be put the whole entire cross analysis. You can go in and put things like she mentioned strep and mono, EBV, which is Epstein-Barr virus, and you can get a look at what the resonance is with that vibration. Now, okay, this is going to be really, really important. We don't have time to go into it today, why you would resonate with something that you don't have, okay? So that's a part of that class that we talk specifically about that, because this is not a diagnostic system ever, 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 ever. Okay, so we talk about in the proficiency training why you would resonate with something even if you don't have it. So, but again, thank you, Pam, for mentioning that. You can put in and see what the resonance is item by item. If you think that you have a situation that you want to check, you can do that and see what comes up. Okay, so it is pretty interesting the way we have the cross analysis. It's a very, very wonderful part of the iNfinity, as is all of it. Very briefly here, as we finish up, we want to remind you again, we will not be here for the next 2 weeks. You see that? That's very low there. That is a response to the EBV in the cross analysis for lung, by the way. We're going to be gone for those 2 weeks. We will return again on October 12th. We encourage you to get on your early bird specials and get signed up for the time in Orlando. It's going to be a great time, and you can also enjoy Mickey. I don't think he'll be at the conference, but he is very nearby. We have had several communications from different students, from some of you on the call, asking us, are we a part, do we work for Quantum Life? Are we a part of Quantum Life? I'm going to answer that now because it's weird, but we have had several questions about that. We do not work for Quantum Life. We are not Quantum Life. We are yeah, we're not employed by Quantum Life. You can ask Karen that, and she's very happy to tell you, yes, she gives us no money for what we do here. Good news for her. And we do this because we love the iNfinity, and we love talking with you and helping everybody find new ways of doing it. And just like today, I found a new way of doing it. I'm an old dog that's been taught a new trick this morning for cross-analysis in the spiritual protection panel. But I want to be clear, Integrity Biofeedback, Inc. and Academy is separate. We are two separate companies, and Quantum Life is your manufacturer of your iNfinity product, and we are the educators. So we, strangely enough, have had those questions coming into us. So we just need to make that clear that we do not work for Quantum Life. We are Integrity Biofeedback Inc. and Academy, a standalone company. We have been in business for, I've been doing this for over 15 years, and the Academy was born in 2008, and Integrity Biofeedback Inc. came along in 2005. So we've been in business for quite a while as a standalone company ourselves. So we are indeed Integrity Biofeedback Inc. and Academy. We are not Quantum Life. However, we do come on and teach for them, for their iNfinity, and even some of the other products, other apps that they have as well. So hopefully that will clear that up for those of you who have asked me that. And again, we just want to say to you, please breathe. Get on board and get your tickets so that you can get to Orlando and enjoy that time. And take a next couple of weeks. Make sure you sign in on Wednesdays, if you don't already, for the Wednesday Wellness at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that you can find out how other people are using the devices and what they're doing with them. So until the next time we see you, we wish you lots of light and love, and we send you blessings, and we'll talk with you real soon. Bye-bye.